follow us on Facebook at Off Script with Super E Podcast. Also follow us on Twitter at offscriptpod_1. Off Script with Super E recommends listener discretion, as these real but sometimes uncensored stories can be filled with mature content.
Hello, everybody. Jay here, back with another Off Script with Super E. Unfortunately, other things have kept me away from A-Train Studios, so I'm not with my buddy A-Train. I'm at up in my studio. A-Train is at his studio. A-Train, say something.
I'm just sitting here. I'm crying, just weeping into a handkerchief because Jay's not here. That was so.
Anything wrong with that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, of course.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
shit.
And
Oh,
that other voice you hear is the star of our show, of course, Super E. Super E, got anything new on a Sunday?
Well, no, as I'm talking to you guys, Captain Tark Tice is trying to call in, probably with some more escapades. But I'm just chilling out here in the middle of nowhere. My neighbor, what?
Any kangaroos?
No kangaroos, but their turkeys are flocking around me. They better not hope A-Train darkens their doorstep.
I tell you.
Yeah, that's right. 'Cause he is he's quite the shot.
Yes, 2 at a time.
No,
Kind of like Ron Jeremy.
No. I'm really good at sitting in the woods for hours at a time, not seeing a damn thing. Yeah, I'm really good at it.
And I walk outside to take out the trash, and there's 10 of them.
That's kind of how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, and all my buddies that are deer hunters, they spend weeks just following footprints and deer droppings. If I welded a metal bar to the front of my Chrysler, I could gore 10 of them on the way to the Dollar General.
What do y'all buy at the Dollar General there, Super E? What's your...
Well, ramen noodles is high on the list. Mountain Dew,
of course, and
Marlboro cigarettes are. I don't buy them, but that's what everybody. I see a 6-year-old kid go in there. Mamaw says get her Marlboros. Here you go, Tyler. Tell your mamaw I said hi. One time, I swear to God, a dog knew how to step on the thing. Walks into the Dollar General like he owned the place and is just walking around. And then, somebody yells out, "Oh, Travis's dog Butch is in here. Tell him hi. Give him a treat." He's just walking around the store.
Give Butch a treat.
Spot on. That reminds me real quick, a long time ago, when I was working in sex crimes, we had an early morning run down on the south side of town. And we probably got there, started gathering at 5:30 when we got the call out, because our shift didn't start yet, but we were all on call. Anyway, so get down there, working the crime scene. It's probably 6:45-ish, and this food truck pulls up across the street. Lady gets out. She must have just been working the breakfast shift at the local, factory or whatever, with the food truck. She gets out, cigarette promptly, pursed in her lips, and she screams, "You babies, get out here and get your breakfast." So, like 3 or 4 kids of like grade school age, they come flying out of the house. "Well, we'll go have, Mama." I swear to you, she starts feeding these kids chili dogs and Mountain Dew to the bus stop.
Sweet.
That is the breakfast of champions.
I was like, yeah. I mean, as a kid, you're like, oh, God.
That's fun.
That is exactly the way it is with everybody out here where I live. When because they do their grocery shopping at the Dollar General. And it's just unbelievable. You see, like, ramen noodles, Cool Filter Kings, Lucky Strike, that kind of thing. And it's just, oh, and 50 pounds of dog foods like Cousin Eddie. And that's the way it is out here.
Now, do they do Funyuns or Doritos?
Doritos, I think it's Doritos out here.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Oh, A Train, what you got for us?
I love Doritos. Love them. Cool Ranch. Yes.
Oh my,
I really don't have anything exciting to tell you.
yeah.
Just kind of looking forward to Super E telling us a story.
Yeah, so A Train, do you want to do the honors to kind of let us know where this story's going with the local doings here in our town with that NRA convention and who a officer may have run into? You want to take it?
Well, yeah, I'll give a little backstory, and then Super E can take it from there. So yeah, we had the big NRA convention here in town. We had your Donald Trump as a guest, and he made a speech, and yeah, it was a big to do. And sounds like the subject of our story today, Super E said she had a brush with greatness.
Yes, we will, for the show, we will call her code name will be KR. She used to be KF, but now since she got married to a wonderful guy, she's KR.
Okay.
KR was working this thing as security in uniform, and she's a big Trump supporter. And she says that the president Donald Trump came up and was thanking her and the other officers for all their service they do and all that. And then he just looked at her because if anybody's ever met KF, we all know this, she's a very attractive woman. It's like if you took a Barbie doll and Farrah Fawcett Majors and a mad scientist, combined them like in Weird Science, you would have KF.
That is a perfect example
Yes.
of what she looks like. That is exactly right. Barbie doll,
Yes,
Farrah Fawcett.
yes. She was my partner. We were a narcotics investigating duo, and she was a showstopper when she did the undercover work.
He defies all of those. If you ever see like a series or something, it's got a female officer on there. There's an absolute smoke show, and people are like, "Cops don't look like that." Well, she kind of can change that rule. Yeah, she does.
She definitely changed that rule. I mean, there would be like informants that say, "Hey, this drug dealer says he will not sell to anybody new. He don't want to meet anybody new." She would drive up the informant to meet the drug dealer. Oh, I'll sell to her.
Right.
I mean, they loved her. And one time, a couple of narcotics detectives, they knew that me and her were having a lot of success locking up people for selling drugs. They said, "Do you think she would go into this house and buy some heroin? It's a big problem in the neighborhood. Neighbors are screaming about it. Quality of life's gone down and all this." And this is where they had like 4 or 5 lookouts, guys armed, ready to, anybody came in, they're ready to take care of business. And they told her, "Hey, you're going to go and buy heroin." And they got all these lookouts. It's scary. She didn't even bat an eye. She goes, "I'll do it." And when she drove up and I was sitting in the passenger seat with her, the lookouts, they were nice about it. They were very polite, even though they were menacing. They just said, "Hey, to me, you got to stay in the car. Only your girl can come in." She went in there like cold as ice. Was able to get everything on video. Great buy. Was able to do a search warrant, get everybody locked up. She was fearless about it. And then a year later, she told me, she goes, "Man, I was like shitting in my pants." I said, "You didn't look like it." She goes, "Oh, that was all big act." But she was fearless.
Nice.
She had no problem. Yeah, she had ice water in her veins.
Why don't you tell us a tale about her? Maybe some other hijinks there, Super E.
Now, this is the one where she didn't do it on purpose, but she stole an old Harley motorcycle.
Just accidentally stole a
it
motorcycle.
It wasn't her fault.
Okay.
Never.
I got some information from one of my informants and he told me, there's this dude. He's just telling everybody he's selling dope. He's got dope for sale at this house. He's not secret about it. And he also he's saying, hey, I've got a Harley that I stole that I'm going to sell for like, $500. And I was like, hell yeah. That sounds like a good information, getting a drug arrest and then getting somebody's Harley back for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so the informant called him up again, got some more information. I wanted to know where the Harley was, all this. And so the informant called the guy back up, said he had two people that wanted to buy. I was going to have KR do it, and then our good friend BD. We all know BD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's very good. So I wanted him to help KR on this. And so my informant found out from the drug dealer that he had hid the Harley Davidson under a tarp behind his house right by the back door. So before the drug buy was made, I do a couple of days of surveillance, do a little recon on it. Sure enough, I see a tarp covering a bunch of stuff, and it looks like a Harley's under there. So I'm thinking, okay, everything's lining up, just like the informant said. All this information's checking off is correct. So what the plan was, I was going to have KR and BD drive up there with the informant, and BD was going to be the money man because he's kind of an unassuming guy. You wouldn't think of him as being a cop. He didn't look like a biker or anything. He just looked like a regular dude.
Yeah.
Somebody described him as the world's largest leprechaun, and
That's pretty good. Yes.
yes. And so, anyways. So they drove up in one of the old pickup trucks that the Air Force donated to us. I think it was actually one of your guys' units trucks.
I picked those trucks up.
Yeah.
Andy, did you go up there with us?
I did not.
We drove up right into Pennsylvania, and several of us went up there. It was the craziest thing. You just show up on the base, and someone signs the paperwork, and they hand you the keys, and that's over there. That one's over there, and see y'all.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great truck. They were like 30 years old, over 30 years old, and they'd have like 1,400 miles on them.
Right. They used them on the base only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had this great big 4-wheel drive, big Ford 350. And so the CI, BD, KR, they show up, and KR is looking glamorous as always. And they knock on the door of the dope dealer's house, the back door of the dope dealer's house. He comes out, and as soon as he met KR, it was like, hey, how much dope do you want? I've got. How much dope you need? I got. And she had, I don't know, a couple $100. So she handed him the money. He immediately runs into the house and brings out the dope and hands it to her. So we got that out of the way. The drug deal is out of the way. That's where the danger, you worry about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching from about a half a block away. I'm videotaping everything, and I'm watching this and using binoculars. So I'm thinking, that went really smooth, the drug deal. So then BD, I could tell he asked about the Harley Davidson. And I could see the drug dealer was like, oh, yeah. He runs back into his house and comes out with a great big hammer. I'm like, oh, my God, is he going to bonk BD over the head, his big leprechaun skull? And what the drug dealer did then was he made a left turn and went to his next door neighbor's garage and started bashing the side door glass open. And then I could see that BD and KR, they're looking around kind of like, what the fuck is going on? He bashes that door open and gets in, and then he tries to open the big garage door. And it looks like the garage door spring had broken, so, he hit the button, it wasn't going up. So the drug dealer comes out, and he's trying to lift the garage. It won't lift up. What's he start? He starts taking that big hammer and starts bashing on the outside of the big garage door.
Oh my!
Yeah, and then I could see BD and KR, they're kind of looking back because they know I'm watching, and they're shrugging like, what do we fucking do? And I said, okay, I hope they don't identify themselves as a police officer because we don't, the guy's got a hammer.
Yeah.
We've seen that he can bash in a door. He can bash in a cranium.
Right.
So just next thing I know, I see BD is helping this guy lift up the broken garage door. Now it's all creaking, going one side. And the drug dealer pushes this Harley Davidson out. And then he's kind of like, he's trying to lift it up a little bit. There's BD. He tells BD and KR, hey, help me lift this up. So, I see Farrah Fawcett Majors hoisting up the forks of a Harley to put on the back of. I'm like, somehow this seems like this is a violation of something. I just saw the byline in the newspaper the next day: narcotics detectives, stolen motorcycle ring.
Right.
So
it wouldn't be a one-time deal. That was an accident. You're so right, Super E. In the media, it would be a ring.
Yeah, a ring. They're guilty, even though they're going with the flow, and they don't want to. They can't break their character because it could have got violent fast. The guy, like I said, the guy was holding a deadly weapon because he just killed 2 garage doors, and so they hoist this motorcycle, get it back of the truck. And they're looking at me real apologetic from a half a block away. We're so sorry. I can read their lips. Sorry. I'm thinking, what are you going to do now? Roll a bank with the guy? And so the drug dealer goes back in the house. We meet at a staging area, and we're kind of like, what the hell do we do now? So I was like, I'm so glad I videotaped everything. I made good notes. I made all to the supervisors, this is what happened due to safety reasons. They decided to join in on the Harley theft.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want to have to pull out any guns or hurt anybody or get shot themselves. We went along with what the guy did, and we'll be taking the motorcycle back as soon as everything is processed correctly.
Right.
And that leads to a great quick little lesson or whatever with things like that. You can, it was they were damaging someone's private property, obviously, but they couldn't break character for that. But now, it would have been different had they been going to harm a person.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And then I would have full confidence that my undercover detectives took care of business.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the way that went down that day, and we couldn't stop laughing about it, because in all my years of experience and all the crazy stuff I've done and seen and all that stuff, I don't think anybody has ever something like that happen where they're having to rip off a garage door and hoist up a stolen motorcycle for a dope deal. So getting back to it, I process everything, get a search warrant for the guy. I think we made a second buy. I think we made a follow-up buy to show a pattern of dealing. And in this one, we didn't commit any felonies on that. We didn't participate in it.
Good.
And so, we had a dealing case against this guy, search warrant, whole schmear. He goes to jail. Motorcycles processed, all that. Well, 2 weeks later, I get notification from whoever that releases the motorcycle, and it took us a while to find out who was, that motorcycle belonged to, of the house. We had to confirm that and everything. So finally, when the motorcycle was released, I was given the contact information for the owner. And I found out that he was no longer living at that residence. He was living at a residence all the way on the south side of our town, our city. And so when I called him up, I thought he would be overjoyed that we got his Harley back.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy at all because this Harley was old. And I will say, I'm not a Harley guy, know nothing about him, but it was a giant piece of shit. And so I believe he might have got some insurance cash for that. And he never wanted to see that motorcycle again.
Oh no. He did not want that back. He wanted the insurance money.
Yeah. And I called him up and I go, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so, great news. What's that? Got your Harley back for you." Click.
Yeah. Who is this?
Call him back. We got disconnected. What's going on? What Harley? Your Harley. Oh my God. He was like, "Oh my God." And he's no comprende. I said, "No, I heard you speak in English 2 seconds ago. We have your Harley. We need to bring it back to you." He goes, "Do you have to?" "Yes, we have to. It's, we can't confiscate it and keep it.
Yeah.
You're the owner of it. It's in your name. You need to come get this Harley." "I don't want to." "You have to." "I'm not going. I can't. I can't. I don't have the means to do it." I said, "Well, guess what? We do." I got a bunch of the guys from the violent crimes unit. I said, "Guys, help me load this big, heavy ass motorcycle in the back of this truck. We're going down to the south side." And I called the guy up. I said, "Are you at home?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'll see you in a few minutes to talk about what we need to do." I didn't let him know that we're bringing a motorcycle down.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Okay." So I zipped down there and I got a bunch of the violent crimes unit guys with me. I knock on the door and he goes, "Yeah, I'm not interested in getting that, blah, 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 blah." I said, "Motorcycle's right here. Guys, bring it off the truck." And he's like, "Damn it, no." Yes. We roll it up there. And then the guy he's helping us in 0 ways possible.
Yeah.
So we roll the motorcycle with the brakes locked up. So we're dragging the motorcycle. And we say, "Hey, we're putting it right here." And he goes, "I don't want it there. Can you put it over here?" It was like 3 feet over. So we all had to grab it and move it 3 feet. Then he goes, "I don't think I want it there." I said, "We're out of here. Bye."
Oh.
And away we went.
Oh.
What are the chances he never called the insurance company to let him know?
Oh, I have a feeling he did not.
Yeah.
He did not.
Oh.
He did not want to see that son of a bitch and turd motorcycle again.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Train, did you ever have any situations in your UC work or your, videoing said UC work where your guys turned into felons? You ever have anything like that?
I'm trying to think. I know I've never assisted in a garage burglary.
Right.
Stealing a heart. No. I'm gonna say not really. No. Yeah.
I don't think too many people could check that off the list of things that they've done.
Yeah.
That was my point, Super E. Exactly. I mean, exactly. That's kind of things like that don't happen every day.
Right.
No, they do not. But when they do happen, you got to be able to go with the flow and do whatever is the safest.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure everybody understands this, but I mean, they were in the middle of a drug deal that was
Right.
It was an ongoing thing.
Yes.
They, in the, on the scale of things, maybe letting that go at the time, because they had this other investigation to do. So, it not ideal, but just so folks understand,
it was safety for the drug dealer
Yeah.
and the undercover officers and the informant.
Absolutely.
He was there too.
And they probably on this drug deal, they might not even have their guns with them.
No, they did not. Now BD might have had it hidden somewhere, but I don't think KR was it. I don't think she had it. She might have. I'd have to ask her.
Right.
But of course, on my drug deals, a lot of I couldn't carry a gun because I was searched on a regular basis, and all I was wearing was tank tops and, like I said, cut off shorts with work boots. The complete hillbilly look.
Of course.
Yes.
Course.
The Jesco white look. Jay's family tree that basically goes straight up.
Yes, indeed. Appalachia, baby.
That's great.
Well, that's good stuff there, Super E. That is good stuff. Hey, Train, you got anything to add to that?
No, I don't. That was very entertaining, Super E.
Thanks, guys.
And didn't we discuss and having her be a guest on the show one time? Didn't we talk about that?
Yes, and like I said, she's a busy busy person of these days, as you can see with the visiting or talking with the president and all that stuff.
Right. Well, if she can't make time for us, then we'll just keep talking about her behind her back.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You know what? I kind of like that better.
Yeah, right.
Excellent. Well, hey, if nobody's got anything, A-Train, why don't you take us out?
Okay, we will see everybody on the next one. Bye.